Booga, booga.
No, 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 no.
News Talk Radio 610 WIOD presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk with Neil, dial 751 WIOD from Dade. In Broward, 524 WIOD. Outside the 305 area code, toll free 1-800-944-WIOD. And Bell South Mobility customers make it a free call by dialing star IOD. Now, The Neil Rogers Show on News Talk Radio 610 WIOD.
When I drive around South Florida, I always listen to the Nick Reineri Show on WIOD.
Well, Ralph is dead, and so is most of Reineri's audience, but at least he's got an audience, which is something, you know? That's what I said to Bob Green this morning when I came in. And everybody, the buzz of the place, of course. Did you hear Reineri on 790 WMRZ this morning with Henry Barrow? And unfortunately, Ed Berliner. Get rid of him, Mikey. Get rid of Berliner, man. Everybody hates him like poison. Although, I'll be honest with you, his fastest 2 minutes sport report in the world wasn't too bad. As long as he doesn't say anything else, just gives the scores, he's all right. So anyway, that's the buzz of the joint, as you would expect. And Bob Green says to me this morning, he says, well, boy, did you hear that? I said, yeah, sure did. I said, that's the first time in 3 months I've listened to the radio on the way to work instead of just listening to my tapes in the car. Well, they're all old. Now I know why we fired them. I said, yeah, but at least they're out there. There's somebody. I mean, even dead people represent a cume. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got like 300,000 dead people, at least it represents something. Like a lot of dead people, as opposed to having nobody. But hey, they know it all here, man. And now after they admit they've screwed up the whole deal, what are they doing? They're doing more research. Yeah, I heard you call, Gilbert, you suck ass. I heard you call in there this morning. Let's see, who else called, Mikey? We had Harold Songdahl, the old plant guy. We had Yolanda Parapar. God, that was touching. I was there shaving. I had the radio on in the house, which I never do. And here was Yolanda on the phone, and there's Henry and Mikey, and I thought, God, this is, all we needed was Phil Costin in there, and we'd have like a whole conglomeration there of all the people, well, a few of the people who have been screwed over in the last 2-3 years by this company. I mean, it was just tears came to my eyes. So anyway, the deal is now, of course, we have this thing in the morning, this abortion here that nobody wants to listen to, and certainly nobody even defends because, and by the way, all you old farts that called up Reineri this morning, and, oh, boy, don't even mention that other one over there. That's disgusting what he's doing on it. You're all listening right now. You're not fooling me for a second. You could quote chapter and verse every goddamn thing I say on the air. So don't call and suck around over there and pretend you're not listening now because I know you're listening. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday, you old farts. Oh, as soon as you left, we turned it off. And that other one, he's so disgusting. I love the one guy that called to say that he's so relieved he can listen to Mike now. He doesn't have to hear those disgusting, filthy promos for the guy who used to follow him over here. The ones we had to bleep, even if I said, hey, how you doing? I had to bleep that out. Because just the sound of my voice would get some of those people, would get the crap in their colostomy bag just regurgitating. Just puking around in there like a whirlwind. Like a maelstrom in a bag. So anyway, Reineri is on 790, by the way, on AM, WMRZ, 6 to 10 in the morning. And I was thinking, this is like after World War II. Remember we beat the crap out of the Germans and the Japs? And then all of a sudden we start building them up again, and all of a sudden they're just, they got their thumb down on us, and we're like doing NAFTA and this and that. We're trying everything in the world to get somebody to buy American products because the Germans and the Japanese, we have like handed it right back to them. And in fact, how are my Birkenstocks doing? And my new German pen. But anyway, and that's what it reminds me of. I was talking about that yesterday. We got the Snooze Cruise tombstone sitting out there in front of our building after we put WNWS out of business, off the air, kaput, finished. And now all of a sudden, like, hey, here's another chance. Although Sandy ain't going to help much. And the reason I know I always liked Reineri is because I heard from the grapevine that he wasn't very nice. He had some not too nice things to say about Sandy this morning. You know what I mean? Yeah. Attaboy, Mike. He's not sucking around like Henry is over there. You know, I like Henry, but one of the things, talk about, I could go on a whole 4-hour monologue today about this. I really could. It's just like here, you know, we have all this psychosis about Jazz McKay and about this, because there are certain people, without mentioning any other names, like vultures again. It's the vulture roost at IOD once again. It just never seems to end. Certain people just waiting in the wings, just hovering over, waiting for the death of the morning show, which I think is imminent regardless of anything, and just looking at, well, let's see, if they put Rick and Sons in the morning, that opens up the afternoon. Well, let's get Jazz McKay out of here before they stick him on there. So now then all of a sudden, there's another great turnaround here. I mean, I don't know whether to scream or eat a banana. I don't know whether this is a good guy, a bad guy. All I know is he represents a threat to certain other people. I don't want to mention Jim, who, again, is in here manipulating and trying to, get him out of the building. Take away his card or whatever it is he gets in his building with and just ban him from the building. And Randy will be better off, and so will everybody else. And I know she gets very upset when I say that. I don't care. It happens to be true. He's a professional meddler. God. He's in here yesterday manipulating Adam like a puppet on a string. Really, it looked like Edgar Bergen. And that must be why Adam was sitting on his knee. Can't be any other reason. Huh? He was pulling and pulling on the strings, that is. Yanking on him like crazy on the strings. But anyway, we'll get into all of this because I'm sure... Nice job, Mike, okay? Not too much of a show. We'll get some spots in there, I'm sure. We'll get that thing going. First day, a lot of calls, a lot of response. Everybody, I listened, like I said, for the first time to radio, AM, FM, or anything in the morning for months this morning. Not that it was all that entertaining or compelling, but, hey, at least it was something besides, hey, here's the same crappy news over and over and over again, and the same stuff you just heard 3 minutes ago, and here's another 80-second interview with somebody we don't want to hear in the first place. So anyway, big article by Tom Jicka, picture of Reineri from about 20 years ago. One thing about Mike, he always looked the same, you know? I bet you when he was 15, he still looked like pretty much the same. Had that same red jacket, and then there was the blue one. And kind of like that gigantic bald spot like I got, only more toward the front. And had like a flask in his pocket. And he's just basically the same guy. I like Reineri, you know? I always said that. I never said that I didn't like Reineri. His show wasn't that exciting. But I got news for you. It was like a comfort zone. And the demographics were old. Yes, we had a lot of old people, but they've mostly disappeared. Just like when I talked about him the last few days, you notice most of the audience, of course, on the West Coast, look at the phone lines there because they don't know anything about him. Well, it's too bad, okay? It's too bad. There's nothing I can do about that. If I had lightning hockey tickets to give away to you, then maybe we'd do something and we'd get some calls over there. This is something for us today, all right? So you'll have to excuse us. This is a man who was on the air here on this station in the mornings for 17 long, excruciating years and has just got paid off for a year. As he said, by very dumb people, he got paid for a year, and it says in Jicka's column, over $200,000, and I'm sure that's about right. I don't know what it was, maybe $250,000, $240,000, whatever it was. The guy was making a few bucks and got paid for a year to sit around, play some golf, drink a little booze, and have a good time and watch late-night TV. Now he's over there with Henry Barrow, Ed Berliner, unfortunately, and the Ganze Mishpacha. So Meg Green calls in this morning, sucking around. Gilbert calls in, sucking around, which I thought was unconscionable and better them than us. Harold Songdahl I mentioned, and Soper, and of course, what's the guy, Captain Bouncer, and anybody else we know? I mean, it was just like old home week. And like I said, people in the morning in this market, other than those who are FM people looking for Ron and Ron because they can't find much of anything else that's entertaining and entertaining, they're like switching around, man. And I'm going to tell you, if they don't do something pretty quick. But I'll also say, as far as Jazz McKay, I'm not going to pay any attention to the audience because, quite frankly, we saw in the last 2 days just exactly like a little clinic, a mini clinic of what I've always said about the audience, and that is they'll call in and agree for the most part with whatever you say. They want to suck around, they want to be validated, and they want something for free as well if you might find something to give them. So that's basically on Monday when I said, well, I thought he was pretty good. Then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, he's great. He's wonderful. Then yesterday when I said, I heard when Adam and Jim just happened to come in here with that cart to try to get me all stirred up, and it succeeded very well, by the way. I came in on Sunday morning at about 10 to noon, I guess, right after that episode had happened, and then Drew called in sucking around trying to save his life. And now after yesterday and all this other stuff, we find out that Adam had a phone conversation with Jazz McKay, and Adam says, oh, he's the nicest guy I'd ever want to know. He's a great guy. So Adam is either a real pussy, like I said yesterday, and just scared for his life and scared that all those bikers are going to come down here and beat the crap out of him, or he just is convinced he's a nice guy, and maybe Jim isn't going to manipulate Adam as much as he did before and trying to suck around for that afternoon slot. Or one of the above. So I don't know whether the screamer eat a banana. I think the guy deserves a little bit more of a chance because he's only been on a couple of days, and let's find out if he kills somebody or not, I say, huh? Because I can think of plenty of good candidates. Bring those bikers down here, Jazz. I got a good list for you, pal. Okay? And some of those guys got a real small penis, too, by the way, the ones that are on my list. I don't want to mention anybody in particular downstairs, but he's near the head of the list. He's right near the top, baby, and rising fast. Yeah. So also, I do want to mention, remind me when we come back, I got to talk about those calendars. I had an afternoon yesterday. We had a good show yesterday. Amazingly, everything went just fine. and everything was hunky-dory, as they say. I go home, I'm watching Guiding Light, which is getting very, very neurotic, and I'm wondering what happened with Bess Lowell, if she's turning into a turncoat. I wonder what that's all about. And I'm just minding my own business. The phone rings, and it's Sheryl. And it seems that we have a big contretemps about this thing with these T-shirts, and Kurt's all upset about it, and everybody else is all upset about it. Be screened, and they're just screaming and yelling. And then, of course, about these 25,000 calendars, which this is another Jim thing. Jim comes in here, gets everybody so pissed off, everybody so worked up. Stay out of the building, Jim, okay? Everybody will live 20 years longer if you just stay out of our face and keep your nose out of everybody's business. Camilla's house thing, I mean, Randy's video is great. It's a masterpiece. I'll give you all the credit. But stay out of the rest of it. Mind your own business. Go find a life. Find a boyfriend somewhere. Find a hobby. Take up pocket pool or something constructive. 1023 at WIOD and WSUN.
She's going.
What do you guys think about this penis thing?
1027 at WIOD. So speaking of that, this thing with B Screen yesterday, Mike sends over this really beautiful Buffalo Sucks, the sequel T-shirt. And on the back it says, and their fans, what does it say? Their fans blow? Yeah. And beautiful with dolphin colors, aqua and orange, and the whole bit in white and black. And I don't want to go into the fact that there was a big song and a dance, and boy, Kurt had a nervous breakdown about this, but he can stick it where the moon don't shine, and we are going to be doing these because we'll raise, a few extra grand or whatever it's going to be. And they cost only $10, and Mike is going to give $3 from each T-shirt to Camilla's house, just like he did last year. And if you would like to get some of these, especially, and by the way, I understand that Brother Weeze is doing it again. The WCMF up in Rochester and Brother Weeze are buying another billboard. And we're already working on finding out where it's going to be so we can do a real nice job. Well, we don't advocate that anybody would do it, but just in case any of the Dolph fans are pissed off by it, that they might just do a real good job of defacing it, which would be illegal, I'm sure, but, nice. So anyway, B Screen's number is 592-7505. 592-7505, and his fax number is 471-0462. It's 471-0462. We're also going to have some anti-Buffalo T-shirts from our good paisans at Captured Glory, and I guess those are coming in later today. What is it? What do you
mean anti-Buffalo?
Buffalo sucks. Why, you also now a Bills fan?
I thought you were talking about Colorado Buffalo, sorry.
Oh, get out of here with your Colorado already, will you? What kind of girls' school are they playing this week? Give me a break. How's those Colorado Rockies doing? And you're supposed to say better than the Marlins. Atta girl, Lisa. You're going to get me started again talking about the size. Yeah. Laugh now, cry later. So anyway, we got these 8 billion calendars, all right? Comes to find out that the original, guess who was involved in the calendars? And our Camilla's house total, by the way, is 53,171. Center one is still 15,480 because we don't have an update from Peaches, which we'll have tomorrow the next day. But they're both doing very, very nicely. The Camilla's house hotline is 1-800-852-0006. Come on, Mikey, give us a few plugs on that, okay? 1-800-852-0006. Come on. It's called Tit for Tat. And what else on Camilla's house? Peaches, of course, has got all the good stuff. And so we got all these calendars. Now, it turns out this was, and I will give full credit, they worked with Joe Andrews at Peaches. They got our stuff in Peaches. Are the T-shirts at Peaches, too, by the way? I don't know about that. See, the problem is this year, as I've told you before, there is just too much stuff. It's unwieldy. We got Chuck, who's had to take the week off this week to run around and delivering those coffee mugs because that's the only way to get people to buy them. And he raised about $1,200 for us on Saturday, I guess. But we just have too many things. And one of the things is this WIOD artsy craftsy calendar, which on each month on the calendar has got a gothic picture with our pictures of the various goofballs here at the station superimposed, like the first one with me sitting on the throne like the Queen with my puss with a cigar and whatever else, and Rick and Suds with the American Gothic is the name of that picture, with a farmer and his wife with the pitchfork and all that, and their pusses are, and it's really a neat thing. I don't think we probably needed 25,000 of them, but it's really a neat thing. Now no, I'm really psychotic. I almost had a stroke about this yesterday because comes to find out that the sales department originally was involved in this, and they were going to sell to a client. They were going to put their own ad on there or a coupon or something, and they were going to put them in all their stores. But then, of course, for whatever reason, then Bob Green tells me one thing this morning, and I was told another thing yesterday. The sales department dropped the ball, which wouldn't surprise me. So anyway, we got these billions of these things. They're only $2.99, which most calendars cost. A nice calendar is about $10, right? Yeah. $8 or $10. These are like $2.99, and of that, like $2 goes to Camilla's house, and the other $1 goes for the cost of printing. So to make a long story short, boy, Kurt spent $25,000 on these calendars, most of which are collecting dust. They're at Peaches, they're at Camilla's house, they're at any of the places where we got our stuff, including the tailgate party the Sunday before the Giants game. We are going to bring tons of these out there. And I want to make sure of anything, I want to make sure that these are sold, because otherwise, if we don't get rid of most of them, Camilla's house is going to lose money on this deal, and that really is what pissed me off yesterday. I mean, why should... 25,000. We only printed up 750 Randy videos and a few thousand of everybody else's CD and stuff, but 25,000 of these calendars. I told Bob Green this morning, I says, God, that's our whole cume for the morning show. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Well, it was last week. It may be lower now that Reineri's back on. What are you laughing about? Don't you understand we have no audience in the morning? Haven't you noticed that in the last year I sit down here and it's like after following that show and a rehashed old bunch of crap of mine that's like from the dark ages that nobody would listen to? We're like starting from scratch. We're scratching it. We ain't got any audience in the morning here. Nothing. I mean, nobody. Zippity-doo-dah. Nobody. That's why Chuck is out there. He's knocking door to door all over town, all over the state. Finding somebody, anybody. You listen in the morning, got to his own house, and they said no. They slammed the door in his face. You kidding me? Here's Coral Gables. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Eat the banana.
What is it?
Eat the banana.
Why won't this thing... cut this off immediately, okay? Why is this... Is this thing screwed up now, too? The phone don't work? Is that a new deal?
It looked like you punched the button twice and locked it in.
Oh. Because he did slip SH in there, and I don't want... I mean, you and Ward could spend a lot of time over on the beach. Yeah, he slipped that in there. Didn't he? Didn't he say that? I thought he did. It was real, like, mumbled and muffled. And by the way, Sandy Payton is a bitch, Sheryl. That's what everybody said. And like I said, I always liked Mike Reineri because he tells it like it is. And Sandy is a disgusting, jappy, obnoxious, bigoted bitch. And yes, she is. And everybody in this building, Sonny Hirsch hates her like poison. Andy Kalb hates her like poison. Phil Costin hates her like poison.
That's not true.
That is true. Everybody who was here when Sandy Payton was here said she was the most difficult bitch to work with. She was just obnoxious, had a real crappy attitude, and they hate her like poison and wish she would croak a wicked death. That's what they all say, including Mike Reineri. See, he's not a phony like Henry Barrow. He's not going to go over there and start sucking around with somebody that he can't stand, that he hates like poison. So attaboy, Mike. We love you, pal. Now, what was this last guy? Was that the first call I take and he slips the S word in there? Very nice. Thank you so much, sir. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
I totally agree
Neil.
with you. Sandy Payton is a bitch.
Uh-huh. There you go.
Listen, I caught the Mike show this morning.
Yes?
Did you catch that little promo that they'd made for him? Real serious announcer comes on and says, you're listening to the Mike Reineri Show, brought to you in part by the fact that he canned at IOD at Cox Broadcasting Network.
No, I did not hear that, but the voice, I'm sure, was Scott Chapin.
That was
Who
great.
used to be over
You didn't
here
hear that?
he used to be over here at GTR. He used to be our production ace, and he used to crank up the audio so loud in production that the whole building was rocking and rolling. He did.
Yeah.
He used to have the walls just tumbling down here.
That's true.
That's Scott Chapin.
I'm trying to get a hold of you the whole week while you were on vacation. I didn't get to hear all of it because it was just ponderous, getting all the tapes. But there was this one part where you were talking to Ron Popeil. I didn't get to hear it the first time,
Yeah.
the whole thing, but the second time was better. That was just a great bit.
What do you mean the second time was better?
Well, see, I didn't get to... The
A lot
first
of
time
times
he
the
was
second
on.
time is better.
The first time he was on, I didn't get it. I only caught the last part of it.
Yeah.
When he was talking about the miracle this,
Oh,
miracle
so in
that.
other words, if you didn't hear something the first time when the tape is on, it's better. Let me tell you something, sir. Tapes blow.
Oh, of course they
Tape
blow.
broadcasts blow. And this station, a major market station, should be embarrassed. I hope Reineri gets a 10 share in the morning, okay? I hope our morning show goes down to a 0.1. And it's not personal with Chuck. It's business. Chuck knows I like him, even though he now hates me like poison. I don't care. This is a business. This isn't a playground.
Definitely.
And the point of it is Bob Green can sit in there and rationalize all he wants. If they didn't like Reineri's show, there was no emergency. He had a year to go on the contract. If you're going to get rid of somebody, at least have something in the wings to replace it that's going to be better, that's going to do better, not something that's going to die on the vine and bring everybody else down scratching and screaming and just dying over here to try to get a phone call, to buy a phone call because most of the audience is gone. That isn't the way to do it.
That's
and these
showing the
people
morning
are,
terminal.
they are the biggest rationalizers because they've never made a mistake.
That's showing the
Including that
morning
little
terminal,
twerpy
really terminal.
Bob Neal, that little walking pimple up there in Atlanta, wouldn't know a radio show if it bit him on the ass. He is the biggest twerp I have ever met in my life. And when they gave Bob Neal the keys to the kingdom in this company, that was the kiss of death for all of us.
Neil, I wanted to ask you a
In
question
fact, within
about
6 months, I predict we'll all be over there on Reineri's show, reminiscing about old times with Yolanda and Phil Costin. We'll all be over there.
about the T-shirts, Neil.
And
Where did
Harold
you say we could get
Songdahl.
those?
What is it?
Where'd you say we could get the T-shirts? Buffalo Suck T-shirts?
What did I say? Where did you get them?
Where can we get them, yeah?
I gave you the number.
That's the only place you can get them? You can't go, like to Peaches or to,
No.
I think you said yesterday Pizza Lot was selling them.
I didn't say they were selling them. I said when we're there on the 16th, we'll have them there.
December 16th?
That's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Cool, I'll catch you there then.
Okay.
Have a good one.
See ya. 2 open lines a day, 751, 1 and 2 on the green line, where they're, of course, totally out of the mix today, and that's the way it goes. Too bad. We're busy talking about stuff that's going on here, and you just sit back and be passive for once until we have stuff to give away to you later, which will be in just a few minutes. Yeah, actually, we're going to give some stuff away to those people today because they've been very, very well. They're used to getting crap free from Bob, and he's got them trained. And they can't get the hams because the hams you got to pick up over here. And they're not going to drive. I mean, they may be freeloaders, but they're not going to drive 250 miles each way to get a free ham. Maybe? 1037 at WIOD and WSUN.
Don't miss the Weekend Magazine featuring the latest news, information, trends, and what's happening. This Saturday and Sunday morning right here.
WIOD.
Birds of a feather flock together. That's why Sheryl's so defensive of Sandy Payton, because they're both basically the same jappy, annoying people. And she comes in here and she's like digging and digging. Oh, and I feel so bad. And Chuck, how's he going to feel? And Well, this is business. This is not personal, okay? Chuck's a great guy. He's a great talent. I've always said tremendous things about Chuck. That show blows. The whole concept blows. We're dying over here because we got the new regime here that came in here and decided they were smarter than everybody else. They were going to pick the whole station apart, and they've succeeded very, very well. And we've got almost everybody in the building running around now like a bunch of little vultures. Oh, I want this slot. I want that slot. I got a slot for you. Cheryl's got one for you. Just get your foot oiled up. Here's a mobile in Orlando. Hello.
Neil.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, you guys got to drop these scumbags at SUN. Bob Lassiter is the biggest piece of crap I have ever heard. I got to come up here.
Is that a bulletin now?
Well, I got to tell you.
It's not bad enough. We got all this stuff going on over here. We got to put up with the baggage from the West Coast.
Now, he says this crap because, I mean, he knows that you guys can't hear him down there. His whole show, I got to come up here. I'm from Fort Lauderdale. And I got to come up here every couple of weeks, and in order to listen to you, I got to listen to the swill that he puts out.
Why is that?
Well,
you don't have to listen. I come on at 10 o'clock over there.
Well, at 9 o'clock, I start listening.
Yeah, I had a radio accident. You don't have. The amazing part of it is that you don't have to warm up the radio. That if you punch the button, there's this amazing thing that happens, and it comes on instantly on whichever channel you like. You don't have to like back in the old days when you had to turn the TV on and wait for the tubes to warm up for a couple of minutes. It doesn't work like that. Radio, it's like instant.
Well, I guess, I don't know, I got to listen to him sometimes.
It's like a guy that called Jazz the other day on Sunday about Drew and about how awful he was and how Drew went on for 2.5 hours ripping Jazz and about, oh, yeah, he'd much rather listen to even WLRN, et cetera, et cetera. But the fact is he was listening to the 2.5 hours of it because he was quoting chapter and verse.
I see.
As though somebody was holding him at gunpoint, forcing him to listen. But anyway, what's the story with Blob today?
Well, I can see this whole show, Neil, consists of ragging on you and ragging on Randy. Today he was saying that if he was Chuck Meyer, that he would shoot you dead and that no jury in the country would convict him because all you do is rag him and tout Mike Reineri and this, that. Hey, if Mike Reineri's great, you say he's great.
I never said he was great.
Well, you say that
Nobody ever said he was great.
Well, you say that he's better than Chuck's show.
Wait a minute. It's got nothing. Chuck doesn't have a show. Chuck is here on the morning. They don't even call it the Chuck Meyer Show. They call it South Florida's Morning News. It's an all-news format, and Chuck, unfortunately, is caught in the middle of that. It's got nothing to do with Chuck personally. Chuck is the best news person in this state and one of the best in the country as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's a great show because it blows. And Lassiter again, because he's got nothing else to talk about. He's either ripping Randy or ripping me. All he talks about is over here. That's the only thing I ever hear him talking about is over here. Isn't there something going on over there?
There is nothing.
Because the South Florida audience isn't hearing him over here. So what's the benefit of the audience over there hearing him talk about here? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, he has those rednecks, nose pickers, just eating out of his hands. They call up and just talk a line of crap.
Well, I can imagine what they're eating, yeah.
They just don't know
with a little
what they've got with you, Neil.
Huh?
They just don't know what they've got with you. You're the greatest. They just don't know. They ask.
Well, what do you mean they don't know? We're doing all right over there.
Well, then they call Bob and talk about
I don't care what they say. See, this is this Yenta thing again. I don't give a crap what they say. I'm not interested in Bob Lassiter.
Okay.
He's a sour, fat fart. That's all he is. He's just a sourpuss and a real cornball yokel, and he fits in over there perfect. He's great for over there.
Well, I guess I just like to hear you say
Well,
that.
then forget about him already. Find something else to listen to over there if there's anything.
I just wanted to be...
Just keep twisting it around.
I just wanted to be of help, Neil.
Yeah, I can tell. See ya.
Bye.
Agitator. Ojan Provocatouris. We have an open line in Dade, 751-9463. And I'm going to say it again. Jim and Adam and a lot of other people in this building better calm the hell down because they're getting me highly agitated. And especially that Jim. He is the worst manipulator I've ever seen in my life. He wants to keep getting everybody whipped up. And they spent all this money on the calendars. And they went about, just give it a rest already. Biggest chronic complainer, man. He makes me seem like the happy man, like the ice cream man. I mean, this guy, is he ever happy about anything? Is there anything in the world that could ever please this man that he would stop bellyaching and bitching and yelling?
No!
I don't think so. I think you're right. But it sure as hell beats working. 1046 at WIOD and WSUN.
Tonight after Randy Rhodes, it's Don and Mike.
News Talk Radio 610. WIOD.
1050 at WIOD. Joe Hartman's here to kill the hour. I mean, how you doing, Joe?
Good morning.
Yes.
Are we close tonight?
Are we closed?
Close.
Close to what?
Close on our selection.
No.
We're not?
Well, let me take a peek again. I know that whoever you picked, I did not pick, as usual, which makes me feel very secure.
I know that.
Let's see. You picked 7th grade Lord Zenith, prestigious mayor. Well, we're like flip-flopped, okay? I like the rail.
You like the rail?
I don't, Mickey Peterson, I mean, he's a nice guy, never stole a freight train, but it just not that horse every now and then goes up in the air like he did last week, and Mickey occasionally gets lost in there on the rail. And I just figure we got a major driver change, even though Brian Allen's had a very tough meeting here. He was monster at Vernon this summer, and if he gets a live horse to drive, he might just be there. Because this horse...
That's the scary thing about Brian. I mean, Brian has won 150 races a year the last 4 years at Vernon, and just can't seem, that's how deep this driving colony is. Just can't seem to get the drives.
It's getting really deep. But this horse went a gigantic mile from the 9-hole last week, parked the whole mile, and I'm not making a definite commitment, but I think I may just go with the one tonight.
You're leaning that.
I'm leaning toward it.
Well, that's
just like Andre Brisson. Just like Andre Brisson is leaning out there toward the middle of the track with that horse the other night, but I don't want to talk about that. And knocked my horse down.
You did not have a good night, I understand.
Oh, my God. Terry Baker's going to win the race for fun there with Frenchman Bay and Andre Brisson. What's he doing off the rail anyway? Makes a break, comes out in the middle of the field, knocks everybody down, and that's it. I got up and said, okay, let's go.
Good weekend coming up.
Got a big weekend coming up. Go ahead.
Very good weekend. Matron Stakes closes out this weekend with 2- and 3-year-old colt pacers. Outstanding trot again on a couple open trots on Friday night. And, of course... during the month of January, from the 1st through the 23rd, free general parking and free admission. And if you are correct tonight, sir, the track pack will go over 20,000.
Beauty. Well, this horse is going to get a big chunk, I think, if I stick with that one. He may not win it, but he'll get a good piece.
Well, if you get any piece, you'll be pushing the track pack up, and everybody will be very grateful.
Outstanding. See you tonight.
Good night.
Thanks, Joe. Good night. Okay, let's go to the swap shop lady. Hello. I think she's swapping it. Hello? Swap shop lady.
Hello?
She just heard it. Yes.
Hello, how are you?
What's going on?
I'm fine. How are you?
It sounds like you're, very occupied.
Well, I'm busy because I have some stuff to put out, but I have good news.
Yes?
I am no longer at the swap shop anymore. You're going to be...
Well, that's tremendous news. You don't have to inhale that elephant crap anymore, that dust.
Thank God.
The mixture of that dust and man.
Just at the total end of my rope with that. I mean, thank God. I mean...
Elephant dropping aromatized sawdust.
Neil, it is such a hole there. You don't even... I mean, I know you were there, but you don't have a clue. I mean, unless you work there under him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh, the hen man.
The hen man, yeah. So I'm out of there.
Kind of a chicken shot operation. Well, he likes Sheriff Nick, so I think that they probably have something in common,
Exactly.
Birds of a feather.
Exactly.
It's like Sheryl and Sandy Payton.
So I'm at the festival because my parents have a place over here.
Yeah.
I'm out of that hole, and this is, really a lot nicer. And I do a lot of other things, but anyways, I got to tell you something. My husband had hernia surgery last week.
He had what?
He had hernia surgery last week.
Yeah.
With your guy, with Dr. Unger.
What do you mean, my guy?
Your guy. Isn't that the guy who did
he
your
does hernia?
thing?
He does also hernia surgery?
Yeah.
Boy, he gets all over the place,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
he? He's got his hands in everything.
Into everything.
Huh.
Anyway, he did the laparoscopic.
I know he did put on it when he examined me. He did stick on that rubber glove, so he's got his hands and fingers into just about everything.
Well, yeah, he did the laparoscopic, the laparoscope thing, and you make like the 4 incisions.
What, for a hernia?
Yeah, he had both sides.
Oh, they do that for both?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
He had
man.
a hernia on the both sides.
And he survived it?
Absolutely.
Damn near killed me.
No, did you hear the laparoscopic?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Oh, my God. Piece of cake, Fat Rich said. Yeah, it was almost my last piece of cake.
I got to tell you something.
It was the frosting for me.
Listen to this. He didn't even take an aspirin. I'm not kidding you. And he went back to work after maybe 8 days.
I'm very happy for him. I'm tickled to death.
It's hard to believe. But anyway, I told him about you. I said, I'm coming to you because I heard, Neil liked you, which is, that's a good sign. He says, when we started to talk about it, he says, well, I'll tell you something. He says, if he didn't like me, he'd say that too. And he laughed, but...
Who, Harold?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a nice guy. I didn't say I liked the operation. I said he's a great guy. He really is. He's got a great bedside manner. He's a good BS artist, and he's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. I really liked him. Like a lot. I mean, like I could have had him
He's
over
a super guy. I mean, it makes you really feel that the BS he's peddling is true.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I had to tell you that. And, also, the Elton John, the new tape, Duets. Have you heard it?
No.
Oh, you'd love it. A mixture of so many great things. Duets with Bonnie Raitt. He does blues. He does, it's like there's all different stuff. You got to hear it. It's really, really, really
You don't do anything with Michael Jackson on there, does he?
No.
Good.
Oh, there's a great one with Stevie Wonder and Gladys Knight.
Uh-huh.
It's excellent. Excellent. You got to hear it. It's really a...
Yeah, Stevie I really enjoyed the session because he didn't have to look at Elton, which was probably more enjoyable.
Oh, but I like to look at him.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I love his music. I just don't want to see him. He just,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like him. I think he's kind of cute.
Yeah, Beethoven was kind of cute.
Now what? Now my aunt's over here.
Okay.
Now what do you want?
Have a great
Get
day.
over here. You want to say hello?
Have a great day.
Listen, you have a great day.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye. And happy Chinooka, everybody. That's not for a week yet, but I can't believe it's here already. We have an open line. It's on the blue line in Broward, 524-YENTA. And let's go to Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Boy, you're going to step on the news here.
No, I'm not. Got a lot of time.
Heard a rumor that you were bidding for the Heat.
What?
Is this enough? The publicity down here, with Wayne buying the fish, the Heat being sold. Ted Aronson told me you were bidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$100.
Hey, Bob Greasy called Mike.
Did he?
With Elaine Etor.
Elaine Etor also called?
Not in the same room.
Are you incoherent, or are you just speaking in little choppy parts of sentences?
Crummy phone.
No, it's not. No, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the phone. It's what's coming out of it that doesn't make too much sense. You're speaking in little disconnected things.
Oh, maybe I've been on a Reineri long weekend.
That might be it.
Hey, it was fun, Neil.
See ya. I wish I could say the same. There's another one of Mike's people. Told you. Maybe Bob Green had a point, you know what? We have two open lines. They're both in Broward. See, I'm not defending that Reineri had a great show. I'm just saying if you're going to blow somebody off who's been on here 17 years, and especially do it in a pretty vulgar and vile way and not even let the guy say goodbye, then you better damn well have something really dynamite to bring on afterward. And Sheryl's busy running around here, oh, geez, I'm worried about our people, and how's Chuck going to feel it? Well, what do you want me to do? What would you like me to do? Would you like us all just to go down the drain with a tidy bowl man, just to make everybody feel good, to make Andy Calv feel good, our little Napoleonic morning dictator who's running around here setting up all those insipid little interviews? It just ain't flying, man. It ain't flying. And then, of course, if something should happen and that show should disappear, oh, it's Neil's fault. Neil's got nothing to do with it. Neil told him, keep Reineri on, man. Don't make a big mistake. And they did just the opposite. So the more I say do something in the morning, they'll leave Chuck on for 10 years because I'm saying they're busy doing research again. They're not going to listen to me. They're not going to listen to their own judgment because they don't have any. They're busy doing research, which is how they got into this mess in the first place, which is what they already admit. They even admit that they made a big mistake. And how did they do it? Because they did research. So now they're doing more research to see how bad they can screw it up again. That's our company. That's this incredible multi-billion-dollar company. Why don't they just open up a research company? That's what they ought to do. Instead of paying all the Maggot and all these other assholes, why don't they just open up a research company and get out of broadcasting? Because if there are enough fools in this business that keep spending big bucks on research, they could be like a multi-trillion-dollar company in a couple of years. Here's Jensen Beach. Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Yeah,
I
pretty
got
good.
a question about the football down here.
Yes.
Now, just for an example.
About the Jacksonville Gremlins or whatever they are?
No, about the coverage.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I'm from upstate New York, and believe me, people up there hate Buffalo too, so you can feel good about that.
I do feel very good about it.
Yeah.
Okay, that shot happens. Everybody's got shot intensive here today, man. They're all doing the S word today, okay? Shot happens. That's the motto on WIOD today. Shot happens a lot in upstate New York, and there's a lot of shot right around Syracuse. You just have to dig through the snow piles to find it. Just dig through the drifts, man. You'll be knee-deep in shot, which is what I feel like I am right now. Now, I'm looking at this thing I see this weekend on the schedule, Jazz McKay's Saturday from 10 to 2. And at 2 o'clock till 6, we got Chris Baker's back. I didn't hear that much of him. I thought he was okay. I thought he had, like, possibilities. And then next week, of course, Rick and Suds are on vacation, and Jazz McKay gets to fill in for an entire week. And I think we give the guy a chance instead of, like, sitting here and getting all psychotic because Adam brought in some tape that Jim whipped him up to a frenzy, and they're high-fiving each other in the control room because I'm playing it on the air and getting all whipped up as they would like to program me. I think we'd be better off sitting and giving him a chance, see if he's got anything to talk about except faggots and bull dykes and bikes and dykes and whatever else it is he was talking about.
South Florida's news, talk, and entertainment station. News Talk Radio 610. WIOD. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
MacArthur makes another...
You know, during the news, I'm sitting here, and just the smoke is coming out of my ears because even though I don't really give a crap about what he says, but when you stop and think about the implications of what he just said, I mean, if that's the case, then Randy ought to go over there with a shotgun and blow the living crap out of him.
Yeah.
Because he's done nothing practically since the day she came on the air, or at least since we were over there, but absolutely trash and do everything in his power to decimate her along with that psychotic bitch Kara over there. And that's like their whole crusade because they basically have no show. So because I'm talking about not about a person or a personality, and certainly would never attack Chuck on a personal level because he's a great guy and I love him. He's a super guy and a great talent. But I'm talking about a show that's failing and that's blowing, and we're all going down with it. That, therefore, Chuck should shoot me and no court, blah, 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 blah. But how about Randy? Not only have the attacks been on the show, but on a personal, the most disgusting, the lowest form of slime in the history of the human race. And this man is talking about anybody else. You are a real loser, man. No wonder they kicked his ass out of Chicago. Here's a lady in Leisure City. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Hi.
How are you?
Happy Wednesday.
Oh, well, same to you. I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener.
Right.
And I really don't have any complaints today. I mean, I could, but today's my birthday, so...
Well, isn't that sweet? Don't complain on your birthday.
Right.
Unless you wake up with a migraine.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was kind of just thinking about, listening to Jazz McKay whenever I did.
Yeah.
And that kind of reminded me that I would appreciate it if you could play Assholes on Parade.
Really?
Yeah. And also...
Well, what does that mean? I don't understand. What does that mean?
Well, it said the world is full of assholes, and he's just one of them.
Oh. Just one in a long parade.
Right.
Well, I'll work on it, okay?
And if I could have one of those hams, I'd appreciate that, too.
No chance.
No.
Okay, we have an open line in Dade. Can you believe that? Did I say we were giving away any hams now? So good. I hope I spoiled her birthday. That was the most disgusting, obnoxious... seriously, in all the years that I've been on the air, if I tried to narrow it down to one call, that might have been it. That may have been the worst call in the history of the human race right there. It's her birthday. She wants to take a shot at Jazz, which is okay with me, as long as she's got good aim. And could I just have one of those hams? Well, you sure can't, because I'm not giving them away right now, honey. I'll let you know, honey ham. That was absolutely unbelievable. See what I mean about what we're developing here now? We're developing an audience that won't even call unless they figure they're going to get something for free. She had nothing to say other than to wish herself a goddamn happy birthday and to entice me to play that little insipid thing. And now, can she have a ham? Yeah, I got some meat for you, honey. Not much. This is something that we got going here now where they think that we're going to keep buying the audience with freebies. Oh, by the way, I mentioned about the Batman comics we're giving away today. That's right. It's from Frank's Comics and Sports Cards at 2678 Southwest 87th Avenue in South Dade.
There are Frank's Comics and baseball cards where they buy, they sell, they trade. Oh, I wonder if you'd ever come back with my car keys, you maniac. Oh, by the way, if Reineri and Roger, I'm sure they are listening, and Henry, Spencer would like to come over there to MRZ and do your cars, man. He misses old Mike Reineri. He misses that $10 every week. It's up to 11 now, by the way, Mike. But for you, he'll do it for 10, right?
That's right.
That's right. And so how are they going to get in touch with you, Spencer?
621-6828.
No, don't give your number on the air.
Okay. Just tell him.
They have your number?
No, Mike got it. He's supposed to have it.
Reineri's got it. Okay, Mikey, call Spencer, okay? He wants to come over and wash your thing and your bald spot. Okay, get out of here. Shine up that bald spot, man. He's a star now. He's on a real station. Not. Okay, so anyway, Frank from Frank's Comics and Sports Cards, where they have all kinds of good stuff, new comics, old comics, back issue, rock and roll items, sports cards, and et cetera, sent me over a bunch of these. George already stole one. I did have a dozen. So if somebody misses out. Oh, and look at the phone lines all of a sudden there, although they were pretty much full, but it's just amazing. Maybe you call me callous and obnoxious for not saying, oh, of course, it's your birthday, here's a ham. But there was no other purpose for that call. She just called us to squeeze off some meat, that's all. She called us to squeeze some free meat. I'd like to squeeze some free meat, but that don't mean I'm going to be able to. I mean, that just irritates the crap out of me. You don't want to talk to me. You just you see what you can squeeze out of me. I feel like I've been squeezed so hard, man. There's not even any moisture left in my body. Like an old, like a sponge that's 700 years old. That's a fossil. Anyway, these are really nice. These are and I know nothing about comics. I have no clue as to what they're all about or what they're worth, or I'm not into it. And George is starting to give me a big thing about, well, it's the new Batman. He's got all these newfangled things, and there's an old Robin is in there, and he's got his thing hanging out. I don't know about it, okay? I like the old Batman and Robin show on TV because I liked Robin, basically, with those nice tights on. I loved Robin. Burt Ward was one of my favorites. I mean, with those little tight green shorts on, and there was always like something there. Well, it was one of his secret weapons. But that's the only reason I enjoyed that. No, it was kind of a good show. It was camp. It was fun. But I'm not into comic books.